Welcome indoor cycling fans on the new midweek autumn series by Swedish Zwift riders. From left to right is the team that will be riding in the series. It's RF and Keulemans, both team leader. And in support are Peters and Bastian Seyfarth. We know it's been a while, but we're back after quite a long injury from RF. So let's hope everything will turn out fine in this series. And already Peters on the Pinktron bike with a fast start. So Peters on the Pinktron bike, RF on the new Pinarello with the white helmet, and Keulemans with the red and black helmet. And the first race on the series is the SEASIDE Sprint course, 34.6 kilometers. There are points to be scored on the sprints. Keulemans now has the smart trainer as well, so he's new on Zwift Power. So let's see what happens. So Peters will be mostly in support of Keulemans. Starting from next week, Seyfarth will be in support of Keulemans as well. Started the race already a small incline of 3%. A lot of Swedish riders, of course. There are a few riders with a fast sprint. Just to name a few, there's Wickman, Westerlund, Von Schenk, Harvey, and Honey from the UK. And hopefully RF can do something as well on those sprints. The road is going up and down right now. Keulemans still well positioned. In the middle of the pack, more or less. Trying to move up a bit. We're now nearing the first sprint of the day. Sprint is on the bridge shortly after this small climb. It's Peters in the front, followed by RF. Peters now with the leading for RF, followed by Von Schenk, Hofmuller, Wickman, Lindstraat and Honey. It's Von Schenk now in first position. Looks like Von Schenk is going to win this one. No, it's Wickman at the end. So first sprint results: Wickman, Westerlund, Von Schenk, Karlsson and RF in fifth. And here we see Keulemans struggling a bit. Hopefully he can catch up with that small group just in front of him. 3.1 kilometers into this race. So a decent sprint by RF, scoring some points. Looks like Gullemans was isolated there at the back. After 4.9 kilometers, RF still in the front. Short climb right before the volcano. Decline of 5-6%. Still a lot of riders in the first group. So it was a really close sprint there with 3 Swedish riders, Wickman, Westerlund and Von Schenk. So keep an eye out for those riders. The end of the volcano, it looks like a few riders are trying to break away. It's Bruce, Harvey. Shouldn't be a problem to catch them. Like I said, the group is still big enough. And here's Gullemans. And there you see Peters with the pink Tron bike in support for Gullemans. Gullemans at the moment in 57th place. Now Peters definitely in support for Gullemans. 2 riders just in front. There are 72 riders in today's race. Peter's still pushing on. Will be very important for Gullemans to hold on these small inclines throughout the race. Falling back a little, trying to close in. So maybe Peter should do a little bit less effort there at the front. That's what he's doing right now. So good job there from Peters. Gilman's definitely struggling to catch up right now. Has to leave a small gap. There's still a few riders in front of them. We're switching over to RF once again. Climb right before the sprint. The first group nearing the second sprint of the day. Looks like RF decides not to sprint on this one. There's one rider ahead. It's Adam Woby. Looks like he's going to win the sprint. Maybe Von Schenk can still pass him. No, it's Woby in first. Von Schenk once again in second, Harvey in third, Carlson once again in fourth, and Westerlund in fifth. So no points for RF. There are still 4 opportunities to score some points, and here are Keulemans and Peters. So Keulemans all by himself now in support, or at least supported by Peters. Make a big jump in the race. Riders are nearing the third sprint of the day. The first sprint was won by Wakeman, the second by Woby, and now it's RF with an attack. An attack at the last part of the climb. It's Honey taking the wheel of RF at the moment. 2-3 seconds in front of the rest of the group. Can RF take the wheel of Honey? Looks like Honey is speeding off. RF isn't really sprinting at the moment. Westerlund coming from behind. Also Harvey and Wickman. Von Schenk as well. And it's Honey winning the third sprint, followed by Harvey, Wickman, Von Schenk and Westerlund in fifth. With RF finishing in 8th place on this sprint. So scoring some points at least. Here's the Keulemans. Back in the group. With Peter still right in front of them. Trying to catch up on Forsberg. Forsberg now 10 seconds in front of this group. You see them, two riders just in front of them. It's a Forsberg and a DP from France. And DP is struggling. So Forsberg now, only 4 seconds in front. So it looks like the group with Peters and Keulemans are catching up on Forsberg and a DP from France. Switching over to the first group once again. 21.1 kilometers into this race. Here we are again, the climb right before the sprint. And now a ferocious attack by RF. 8.4 watts. Really a big effort right now. Let's hope he can finish it off this time. Still only 2-3 seconds in front of the group. Things are looking decent. Although Westerlund, Honey, Borsen are coming from behind. Also Von Schenk once again. With a strong push, it seems like RF lacks the power to finish it off. And it's Von Schenk winning the fourth sprint, followed by this Swedish co-rider Wickman. In third there's Honey. In fourth RF from the team, and Carlsen in fifth. So okay, good job from RF once again, scoring some points. Finishing in fourth place on that sprint. He had a good attack on that climb, but couldn't finish it off. The first group, more or less 25 riders. Here's Keulemans still in the group, so good job from him. He was in a 57th place earlier in this race, now he's in a 52nd. He's at the climb right before the sprint as well. There's Olesen Atkinson just right in front. Peters now trying to close the gap, but Keulemans has to follow. Keulemans doing well, taking the wheel of Peters. Closing in on Danish rider Olesen. So now Keulemans in a 46th position. With Atkinson right in front of the group. Now Keulemans had to leave a gap, small gap. Now we make a jump in the race, 23.4 kilometers. And, the group is closing in on Pernar. .1 kilometer into the race. Switching over to RF once again. These scenes are getting quite familiar. Almost at the sprint once again. the climb right before the sprint. And once again, strong attack by RF. 8.4 watts. Can he keep it up? Still 7 watts. But he has to push on. He tried it a few times earlier, didn't work out, or at least didn't work out as planned. So hopefully this time it will pan out great. Now we're 5 seconds in front of the group. Von Schenk, Wickman, Westerlund once again pushing on. Only 3 seconds right now. RF out of the saddle. Winning the sprint, winning the 5th sprint. So RF in first, Harvey in second, Von Schenk in fourth. And, or at least Von Schenk in third, Carlson in fourth, and Westerlund fifth. So good job by RF. Only 1 lap left to go. 6 kilometers. 22 riders in the first group. How's Kulleman's doing? Catching up on another rider. Here's Atkinson. So the group finally closing in on Atkinson. Kulleman's moving up further on the ranking as well. So good job. Now a big jump in the race, 33.01 kilometers. There's an attack in the front. We see a Bilak from Poland. RF all the way at the back. This isn't going as planned, but he's moving up fast. Once again an attack on that climb. We see Yoda in front, Honey, Brooks. So Bilak and Svedberg. No, not Svedberg, sorry. Now RF trying to close in with the group just in front. It seems like he lacks the power to push on at the end of this race. Now Wickman with a strong push, also Harvey. PR from Spain with a strong push. But it was Honey once again in first, Bilak in second, Von Schenk in third, Harvey in fourth, and McDonald in fifth. And then no points for RF on that last sprint. So the race was won by Honey. And now Kulleman's in 41st position. Like I said earlier, coming from 57th. So good job. Also good job from Peters. Now Atkinson trying to attack there on that last climb. Just trying to close the gap. Also Kullemans now out of the saddle. Doing a 6.5 watts. He's almost at the wheel of Atkinson and Peters. Good job right now. He's in 39th position. Can he hold it? DP from France just in front of Peters. Peters taking over. Now Kullemans coming. Good sprint from Peters and Kullemans as well. So Peters 39 and Kullemans in 40th place. So good job, and here's the final Zwift Power Points ranking of today's race. The first race on the Swedish Zwift Riders Midweek Autumn Series. We have Honey in first place, 60 points, followed by Von Schenk, Wickman, Westerlund, Harvey, Carlson, and in 7th from the team there's RF, Bilak in 8th, Tiesmaki from Sweden in 9th, and Mills with 42 points in 10th place. So guys, if you like this, please subscribe to the channel and hope to see you next week.